winning a bike race in a sprint, you get that like snap of emotion. You've just done it in that moment. For me, it's like you get to fight for it.
Let them go, let them go.
And a big attack now from the front group of riders. Ben Healy's decided time to try and win the stage alone.
Whenever I've raced bikes, people always said, you don't attack downhill. It's never going to happen. But then it's Ben, isn't it? What he does.
24-year-old Healy looking to leave his mark on Le Grand Boucle.
You're tossing a coin, aren't you? And you're just hoping it lands.
On course for just a 4th Tour stage win since 2018, EF Education trying to keep Healy cool as a cucumber.
And you're just willing and hoping and praying and shouting at the telly. And as it comes closer, you're shouting louder.
Big attack of Jonas Vingegaard on the bike. Ben Healy needs to react.
And then you stood up and you're shouting.
He's dreamt of winning a stage of the Tour de France.
And then you're on your knees and you're screaming.
Brilliant, Ben. Stage win in the Tour de France.
Then it's done.
Brilliant yellow.
Yeah, so in Calpe, in the altitude hotel, doing the last bit of prep before the 2026 season, and just knuckling down and working hard, really. I don't think I ever knew that I was like really good. But I was hungry for it. I really wanted it. And like, I never want to lose that. But I know how to like temper that now. The yellow jersey was like, really took me by surprise. It's an elusive thing, you know, because stars have got to align. You just can't predict that. I want to say I'm just still Ben Healy and still the same person I always have been. And I definitely am. But people treat me differently now. I don't think I'll ever adapt to it, but I can definitely become more comfortable with it. Nothing actually changes, you know, just because I've had a good couple of years. At the end of the day, I'm approaching it the same as I always have done. To be honest, that's always worked the best for me.
Locally, it has been quite mad. There was a fight going on social media. So we used to live, the next village on called Kings Winford. We're now in Wordsley. The argument between people from Kings Winford and people from Wordsley was insane. His Wikipedia changed every day. Ben was born in Kings Winford, no, Ben was born in Worsley. My wife corrected it to no, Ben was born in Derby, actually. Absolutely everybody wanted a piece of him. He's modest, isn't he? We didn't raise him to be showy. He wants to focus on racing and training. So yeah, I know he does struggle with the fame side of things.
My name's David Viner. I used to be chair of Howzone Athletic and Cycling Club. Ben is a black country lad. He lived in Wordsley for many, many years. And his mum and dad still live there. A very industrial place where people really graft for a living. The local people are no nonsense. They get on with the job. They don't talk about the achievements. And I think this is what Ben personifies. You just get on with the job.
I'd been riding my bike just really for getting to work and stuff. I'd picked it up in my early 20s. And I was watching on the telly, I was watching the tour, then it was chain ganging it. And then I was racing. Zen was growing up through this. And Ben said to me, "Can I go there?" And I said, "Well, yeah, we'll get tickets, we'll go and watch." He said, No, I want to go and ride. He's about 6. So I took him down the track at Healy, and he just loved it. And we were there every Sunday morning.
We're now standing in the grounds of Manor Abbey. It's a 400-metre cycle track, and it opened in 1949. It would have been a world-class venue. You'd have had crowds of 10,000 people racing here. This is the track that Ben would have started training on. It played a big part in getting Ben into cycling. Seeing Ben in the yellow jersey is phenomenal. But it does inspire the next generation, and this is what we want to grow the sport.
My name's Chris. I am the chef with EF Pro Cycling from the Midlands in the UK, so not too far from Ben really. We're coming up to 3 weeks in. I'm here to support him on the nutrition side of things, which means breakfast, lunch and dinner. He's eating super clean, the same type of food that he'd be eating during a race. He knows exactly what his body's working with. It's that level above.
What's the variety of things that he eats for breakfast?
1 crepe, 2 crepe, 3 crepe, 4. He's a crepe guy. Sometimes he'll put honey on, sometimes he'll put yogurt on there as well. I've tried to do some oats for him, but he's very much a crepe guy.
I've always referred to Ben as a grown-up in the family. He's always been very sensible. He's always had his head screwed on. He's always been very thoughtful. And when he got to riding his bike, he just took exactly the same attitude into it.
Because I was rubbish at track and circuit racing, I started racing on the mountain bike. And I absolutely loved racing on the mountain bike. But I think ultimately I always knew that I wanted to do road. I was on the GB Academy, the Olympic Academy, full mountain bike. And I got let go after a couple of years.
Ben was in a really dark place. He'd put his heart and soul into it, and he was gutted. And he'd been left without explanation or reason.
But to be honest, it was probably the biggest blessing in disguise because that was the trigger for me to reach out to Jacob.
I'm Jacob Tipper. I'm a coach for EF Pro Cycling and a technical innovation strategist for the team. Before going on the Stourbridge Cycling Club ride, I was told, there's a small bloke, don't follow him on the climbs, he'll do some damage. And that was Ben's dad.
I knew Jacob since when Jacob was about 50. I said, I don't really want him to be pushed. I want you to have a look at what he's doing. But most importantly, I want you to show him that we care about him.
He was never setting himself up to be like some amazing pro. So when he didn't get the spot on the mountain bike program, it was like, okay, cool, well, I'll do some more road next year. The big difference with Ben compared to a lot of other young athletes was just how prepared he was to crack on with it and get it done.
I just ended up sending my CV out to like anyone and everyone who would take it, you know, and just trying to find every opportunity I possibly could to race abroad and get my name out there. I just ended up declaring for Ireland, and that's also another step that got me onto the UCI team for L'Avenir, which was like the first breakthrough moment.
That year he then went from being a relatively unknown UK youth mountain biker to then he actually did start to make a serious step up. The breakthrough result as a young rider was the L'Avenir win. I mean, that's the first time that I felt pressure because he was the youngest ever stage winner of that race. And that's when I was like, okay, now I feel a lot of pressure to make sure he gets the world tour somehow.
It was only going to be for a few months. Here we are, what, 10 years later?
No, there was no like real master plan in terms of, you know, how do we turn Ben pro?
This isn't Ben's success, this is Ben's and Jacob's success.
Could I have predicted the success of 2025? I almost think a little bit, yes. I thought he could have won a stage in 2024. So it wasn't a huge surprise that I thought we could win one in 2025. But obviously the way in which he won them, we couldn't have predicted that.
I had like a super solid winter. Probably one of the best wins I've ever had, if I'm being honest, and kind of just interested to see how that translates into racing now. There's definitely goals in my head that I want to achieve, but it's just building on what I've already done, you know? If we throw everything out the window and we start again and change a load of things, you don't know whether that's going to work or not. Everyone's like, oh yeah, do you want to go for GC, or do you want to go for this, or do you want to go for that? And actually, it's just about being the best bike rider that I can be. I'm not really trying to force anything. The path of least resistance, almost. Yeah, if I happen to be in a place that I can race for GC, then great, I'll take the opportunity and I'll go for it. Just want to take each thing as it comes and each race as it comes, and yeah.
By now I should probably be more used to it, but there's obviously a point at which you just don't expect someone to just keep getting better and better, and that's what Ben's done. How far can you go? It's not something that we've thought about or put pressure on having a legacy or any of that. Ben's just like ultimately living his best life.
I really want to win a one-day World Tour race. The ideal one would be Worlds, you know, like that jersey is just so iconic. That's the big goal for me for the next couple of years. I really enjoy the process of getting better and like identifying something that I need to do or need to work on, putting the work in and then being rewarded for that. The winning is a cherry on the cake, you know.
You take these kids through a lifetime, don't you? And you know, Ben's got his process. But his process isn't about bike racing. And his process didn't start when he became World Tour. His process started when he said, I want to go down the track at 6 years old. He's still the same kid he always was. That means more to me. Yeah, winning Tour de France is great, but you've got to be a decent person first, haven't you? And that is what he does. That is who he is. He's a decent person.
Yeah, the spring was just a bit of a disaster. You know, that whole camp when I saw you guys last was kind of the start of the downfall for the spring.
We are on our May altitude camp with our riders for Tour de France. And the last time we spoke, we were in Calpe on another altitude training camp in the intention to getting prepared for the spring classics, the Ardennes. And I was actually at the Ardennes, and just as Ben arrived, he had the unfortunate news with his injury on his back.
I had a crash in Basque and ended up missing the Ardennes, which is what it was all for. So it's pretty mentally hard, but at the end of the day, I think it's just part of being a cyclist.
Basic premise of it was a fractured coccyx. The injury happened during Basque Country, which he then raced through. He actually set some power records. So, yeah, we were pretty unaware it was broken. And it was only upon already arriving in Amstel we actually got the scan results through that showed there was actually a break, by which point it just wasn't worth taking the risk. Was it 8 weeks out from the tour? So this is kind of fairly standard preparation that we go through.
Morale's good. I think, yeah, this is one of the great things about EF is, yeah, we just have such a good group and, yeah, good vibes, good motivation, and camp's flying by because of it.
Ben seems to have recovered really quite well. It was the right decision to pull him out, start the rehab process properly, and he's now in a good position to train properly, build properly.
In a weird way, it's actually set me up nicely for the tour. I try not to feel any pressure at any time, you know, but for sure there is. There's always pressure. It's a tour. It's the biggest race of the year, and I don't think that necessarily is more or less. Well, I don't feel as though it's more or less. Maybe it is. my experience of racing was just me attacking relentlessly.
We've got the first move. Ben Healy makes it, and he goes at 33.5 kilometres from the finish line. Ben Healy's 800.
Once I start attacking, I just can't stop.
From one race out the back to another out the front, and then back again.
I just see red, you know?
I'm excited about tomorrow. Yeah, 100%. It's a race I love, probably one of my favourites on the calendar, to be honest, and yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow.
Is it aggressive or is it determined? I'd call it determined.
This has always been his style. I can't tell you where it came from. Like, it was definitely nothing to do with me.
I suppose it comes from always having to prove himself. He had to almost find his own way.
I've learned the best way for me to win is like that way, and that's never going to change.